Howdy, folks. Is Val Mike here. I got LDG technically, but he's also doing his stream at the same time. And number one has been quiet since I got back up. So, how you guys doing?
I'm good. Hello, everybody.
Damn it. Right now, I'm just trying to get my damn lights to work. My batteries decided to crap out on me. So, I got to go buy a new battery now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to fix it. I know. Thank you, though.
What are you trying to do?
My avatar is broken. I'll be right.
Well, now I got a vamp, unless number one is available. You there, man?
Yeah, hold up.
Okay, how you doing?
Okay, I guess.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
All right.
There we go. You back, LDG? Sorry, accidentally muted you.
What? Stop. I don't know. It's still broken. Aggravating. All right, did that fix it? 3, 2, 1. Nope, still not. Hey, Val, do me a favor.
What?
Refresh your screen and come back in.
Oh, do you think it's my fault?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried it. If you could, maybe it'll reload.
All right, I'll be right back then.
Sorry, guys. Oh, nope, he's back now. And nope. All right, whatever.
Did that do anything for you?
No, don't worry about it.
Well, I was going
There we
to.
go.
Oh, now it's working?
No, I just switched to one I know that works. It's only the Google one that doesn't seem to work. Hey, Elihu.
No.
Hey, Elihu.
What's up?
I was going to try to stream from the storage unit today, but my freaking battery is not working. So I can't turn on my lights.
Yay, no shiny glare.
Is that a bald joke?
Whatever kind of joke you want it to be.
Lack of hair joke.
I have hair.
Yeah, a bald man still is not bald, okay? A bald man still has hair.
In fact, if you don't think I have hair, you should see my ass.
I don't want to see your ass.
Yeah, I think I got to get a new battery because it's just not letting me have my lights on in here anymore. And I don't know why. It's pissing me off. Well, I know exactly why, but I'm not going to explain it on the stream because it's stupidity for both me and my child.
Gotcha.
How's everyone else been so far?
I'm here.
Not bad. Been waiting for you to go live.
Oh, now the light turns on, and now I get power.
Actually cooking some breakfast.
That's better. Okay.
I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Well, does this count as breakfast? Because this is my breakfast.
Coffee, nicotine,
Yes,
a
and
bowl,
I had a
a
cigar
bowl.
before I came up, but I didn't. I can't smoke in here, so I won't be doing that.
I got caffeine, I got nicotine, and I have a bowl. CNA. Cuppa bird.
So, what have you guys done or watched recently that you want to talk about?
Orville?
Yeah, but I haven't watched it yet, so I don't want to talk about it.
Then you do not want to turn into the PJ stream today.
Well, I usually don't have time to catch everybody's stream, so.
Well, PJ has Brandon Fayette on. Fayette. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sci-fi legend. Star Trek. Orville.
You mean
Babylon 5.
you mean Lafayette?
Yes, thank you. Fayette, thank you. Science fiction legend. He couldn't make it Wednesday, but he has confirmed for today.
Well, that's still cool though.
Hey, Bet.
Howdy. Is it cooled off in Great Britain-ish area yet? Or is it still hotter than hell?
It's probably about 22, 23 right now. So when are you going to be starting Jeff Nerdy back?
Well, unfortunately, as I think some of you guys know already, the new computer I have was stolen because of a mistake on my part and some asshole. When I went to Yuma 2 weeks ago for my job, I took my new laptop with me, and as an idiot, I left it in the back of the rental car. Well, it turns out that the guy that checked me in decided to steal my laptop. So, basically, he's been fired because it was the third time something has been checked in that basically was a high value item, and they put anything over $250 as a high value item that has gone missing from someone's car when he checked them in. So this is basically his third strike. They haven't been able to prove that he actually took it, but they're because from what they understand, it was always parked in one certain area where the cameras don't actually see it.
Of course.
And so they can't actually prove it, but they fired him because, as I said, it's the third high-value item that has gone missing while he was parking a car into that exact space. We did inform the police, who, because of certain connections I have with pawn shops as well, have all basically said that they're going to keep an eye out for it just in case. But hopefully he's stupid enough to actually bring it to a pawn shop. Because if he does, I will get it back. But yeah, I am really pissed off at myself for being stupid enough to leave it in the back of the car, and I am pissed off at this guy for most likely being the one who took it. But because there's no actual evidence of him taking it, I can't actually do anything. Like I filed a police report, but there's nothing that can be done at this point unless he does something stupid.
Yeah, can't you track it though via IP, like getting cell phones?
Sorry?
You can change the IP on your computer.
Oh,
yeah.
I know if I ever lose my cell phone, I can just type in Google, find my cell phone, and connect it to my email account. Can't you do the same with laptops?
Yeah. Not necessarily, because most laptops don't have GPS installed.
Oh.
And the light just died on me. Fuck.
Yeah, but you figured if you try connecting it to somewhere,
well, he's not going to be able to get in because I always password protect my user data or my user account, and I have no guest account. So his only option is to try to break my password, and my password is a 19 characters in alphanumeric.
I thought maybe there's a back way into it. I thought they built back ways into these things.
No, the worst part, the only thing that he might be able to do is sell it for parts. So, well, that also means I can't do the other thing. Without the light, I can't do the other stuff I wanted to do today. I was going to take some more pictures and stuff to post to the store.
Use the flash option on the camera.
It looks like shit.
Stop taking pictures of your shit. Or their shit.
Well, I need to get my shit on eBay. Sorry.
You know, I bet you there's there's people on OnlyFans that probably do that. They'll sell their shit, and someone will buy it.
Hey, Gorilla, Yvette said both our icons are blank on YouTube, which is weird. Let me switch this and try this out. Okay.
I mean, when you're viewing it on YouTube and their avatars on my screen are blank.
Yeah, try. Is that better?
Yeah, I just turned my camera on and off again. Weird. Fine, you guys can look at my ugly mug. Ah!
Yeah, JP's. That's also something that's easy enough to do, especially if you know how to format a C drive. And unfortunately, it's fairly easy to do that. I mean, especially if you know what you're doing.
Just mine. Okay, that's weird. Let me try this.
I switched avatars.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
There. That way I'm more centered in the frame so you guys don't have to stare at my big fat chest.
Okay, is that better, Yvette? Damn it. I need to clean this screen out. Oh, I found out what they're going to be doing to my bathroom because of all the flooding.
And what are they going to be doing?
They're going to be tearing up the wall and replacing the wood.
Well, I'm guessing it's good that they're going to be replacing your wood.
Yeah. Which means I have about 3 to 4 hours of constant construction in my little studio, which means I gotta find something to do tomorrow for several hours.
Oh, just go to McDonald's.
No.
They got free Wi-Fi. You can get a soda still for $1, drink all you want, and enjoy the air conditioning.
Dude, things are expensive here. The 2 for $5 menu at Burger King is 2 for $7. There's no
Yeah,
dollar
I didn't
soda
say
here.
one. Hold on, Elihu, what did you misunderstand about what I just said?
I'm trying to
Go to
explain to you
McDonald's.
things. It's not a dollar soda.
It's still $1 soda.
Not here. Prices vary per location.
Oh, you were at McDonald's?
Yep.
Fuck.
There's one McDonald's on 16th and Potrero that has $1 medium sodas, but if you go to the one in Bayview, you ain't gonna pay $1 for soda. You can pay regular menu price. So each McDonald's is different per location.
Every McDonald's I've been to, and that's all across San Diego, Imperial County, San Diego County, and Yuma, and Tucson, has had it for $1. So that's just weird that it's not the same.
I mean, if you get the right employee, you can get the buy one get one for $1, right? They'll charge you the cheap item and give you the most expensive item for free. But some McDonald's, like the one down here in the financial district, will charge you $4.39 for a cheeseburger and give you the dollar fries.
Well, all I'm saying is every McDonald's I know of still has all sodas for $1. I don't know why your area would be any different.
It's expensive.
That's San Francisco.
Yeah, things are more expensive here.
But yeah, the one thing I did notice is the large soda in Arizona is actually smaller. For some reason, that they're only doing 28 ounces as a large, whereas in or at least in San Diego, it's still
32.
32.
It's shrinkflation.
Yeah, Burger King is fixing their shrinkflation with the fries. Normally, when you get a small fries and medium fries at a fast food place, you get more You get more in the small because of the volume package, because it has to expand. The box is set place. McDonald's has boxes for small fries, so you actually get less fries now. McDonald's still has to bag small fries. So if you go to McDonald's, get small fries and medium fries, you're getting more fries with the small fry.
Well, either way, I don't care. I don't. When it comes to that, I'm not a fry person. The only reason I only go to one Burger King, and that's because this one Burger King is a franchise, and they happen to still have Surge soda. You guys remember Surge?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they actually got some in. They did have them at the gas stations around here for a while.
Well, this particular Burger King, the owner just happens to like Surge, so he buys it, and because it's the only fast food place, gas station, or whatever that actually has Surge in the area, so I'll go there on occasion just to get a large Surge.
Well, the only fast food restaurant in San Francisco that has a video arcade game like Miss Pac-Man is Burger King.
I actually got that at my Sega Genesis.
Yeah, but the arcade is not the same as the Genesis port.
It's an actual arcade console. Miss Pac-Man. I'm like, ow. I've never seen anybody play it, but it's there.
Yeah, there's a Round Table Pizza near me that actually has one of the old tabletop Super Mario Brothers arcades.
Oh shit! I used to play Pac-Man on those little sit-down console things.
And it's really funny because last time I went there for one of the kids' birthdays, I was trying to explain to them, the history of that type of machine and, the game and everything, because the only Mario games they've played are on the Switch. And they were just like, God, this sucks. You only get 3 lives for a quarter? Who could beat the game on that? I can't see what you're trying to show us, Elihu, the green screen. Elihu, you muted yourself.
Just showing the shirt, it looks like.
Yeah, but it looks like the Ninja Turtles, but because of the green screen, we're seeing straight through the turtles.
Yeah, it's the Ninja Turtles with Mario, chasing Mario.
Yeah, Mario took Donatello.
Oh.
That's funny. Wait, why are the Ninja Turtles chasing Mario anyway?
Because Mario attacks turtles and he snagged a turtle.
Oh, he stayed because Mario took Donatello.
Oh.
There's a bucket at the thrift shop. This is that or an extra large, extra small TARDIS shirt, and I cannot wear extra small shirts.
And we know
Sure
Mario
you can.
would eat spaghetti, right?
It just wouldn't be pleasant.
And guess what Mario's paradise would be?
There we go. That's better.
Guess what Mario's paradise would be?
I'm having
Well,
breakfast.
Be glad I shaved this morning, okay?
Eggs with ramen noodles.
You are disgusting, dude.
Dude, it's actually pretty damn good.
You better not feed me that crap when I get down there.
Yum yum.
Dude, sounds almost as disgusting as
There's more in here. There's
sauce.
onions and there's meatloaf and cheese.
Dude, I'd rather eat a maple sausage corn dog
Shut
with
up.
mustard
Shut up.
than that,
Shut up.
okay?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
And howdy, Yvette.
Hey,
Hey, Yvette.
How are you
Mum,
doing?
sandwich delivered. So I've got a bit of time.
Mum fed and
Oh,
drugged.
you're not cooking for once?
No, some days she has like a picnic. So she wanted luncheon meat. Don't know if you have that over there. Mayonnaise, spring onions, and lettuce.
What kind of lunch meat? Because we got like 30 different kinds.
Do you? We only have one.
Luncheon meat. Luncheon meat. It's basically like a
A
corned
mixed pig.
ham.
No,
Can.
it's all pork. Ham products, pork and ham.
Yeah.
Lips and
It's
arses
like an
pressed
early
into a
version of Spam.
circle.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we got like 4 different kinds of ham. There's a couple different kinds of bologna.
No.
No,
Bologna is not meat.
Jordan. Luncheon meat is a specific type of meat that's similar to Spam that's made entirely out of ham.
Oh, so it's a knockoff of Spam. Okay.
no.
No.
It's a posh upgrade, if anything.
Yeah, it's older than Spam.
Yeah.
So Spam is actually the knockoff of luncheon meat.
Yeah, lunch meat was served in the Edwardian and Victorian times. It was made in a giant sausage shape and then sliced very thinly, sometimes thick, but that's not so nice. Yeah. So Mum loves the stuff. She likes Spam as well. I don't like either, but anyway, I thought I'd jump
JP
on.
we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something they used to. I think I was put off it with the school dinners because they served it once a week, luncheon meat.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
come on. You can tell shit's hit the fan here when they have to do this for Spam. There, I shared it.
Hold on.
I would prefer, if I had to eat one, Spam fritters are still okay.
Yeah, you can tell shit's
Ham
hit
and
the
eggs are
fan.
great.
Yeah, I've got one of those in my cupboard.
Yeah, you can tell shit's hit the fan here.
Really? Spam is like a staple tin in the cupboard for, say you got uninvited guests turn up and you want to get rid of them quickly, you whip out the Spam and make a sandwich for them.
Yeah, I thought it was ridiculous when Walgreens and CVS started locking up deodorant and bar soap. I'm like, if someone wants to steal that so they don't stink, let them.
Hey, well, they're locking up Spam. It's like they had to lock up Spam so people wouldn't steal it.
Well, Spam's not that cheap here. You get a half tin, which is what I always buy because I don't eat it, Mum does. And that one, which is the big one. The big one's about £4 and the little one's about £2.50, £3. You know, the bigger
That's
you
about-
buy, the cheaper it gets.
That's about the price here. $2
Yeah.
to $3, yeah.
Well, it used to be one of the cheapest meats and was available through the war. That's why my mum liked it.
Yeah, wasn't it made specifically because of the war?
I think
you know what? I
I'd
don't
have
know
to
much about it.
Google that. I think you're close to that, Jordan. I mean, it was something everyone could keep so that when, because of rationing on the island during the war, meat wasn't available some
I
of the
thought it was for
time.
the soldiers, so they had something to eat that wouldn't go bad.
Well, the soldiers still had the military packs, you know,
Oh yeah,
which was even cheaper.
back then the military rations like that were so delicious.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
but you can still eat them.
Yvette, can you see the private chat?
Hang on,
Nothing there.
making me get
By the
up.
way, Val, thanks for coming by yesterday for poker, man. That's
I'm going to
cool.
put something in the private chat.
No
for you.
worries.
Did you have fun?
I just wish I did better.
I can't see anything in the private chat.
I know I'm about to put something in there.
Oh, no.
Something run across my feed.
Yeah.
Is it a link? Oh,
Yeah, it's physics.
What? Being able to use light years as a form of time, measurement of time.
I mean, time travel is possible.
Yeah.
Time travel is possible, although we can only do it 1 second at a time into the future.
Oh. It was funny how his viewers came to defend him too, and I'm like, really? I was proven right by a respectable YouTuber that you all know, and you still talking shit.
It's a nice equation, that one, if possible.
Yeah, that came across my feed. I thought you might like a little light reading.
Thank you. It's my one day off this week. I've been so busy. Just what I wanted, Eli. Thank you very much.
More light reading for measurements. Instrument measurements.
Oh yeah, JP's grew up with all that as well. Yeah.
That just came across my my feed. So I thought you might like that.
Actually, I posted in Facebook a thing on meteors for everyone.
I don't have Facebook.
Oh, don't you? Hang on. Oh well, I haven't got you on anything else, have I? Except email. It's about the colours and what they're. You know, if you look up and you see a colour of a meteor, you can tell what it's made of.
Green is nickel, red is phosphorus. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I thought that might be interesting for other people.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah. It's like, ooh, a colored ball. What is that? Oh, that's just phosphorus. Meteorites, rocks made of phosphorus. That's why you see the color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iron, etc.
It's all iron.
All right. This is for Jordan. According to Wikipedia, spam was actually introduced in 1937.
Oh,
but it gained popularity after World War II.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it's something.
So it's almost 100 years old. God damn it! The battery just died again. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure spam existed before then, but it's just not as spam.
Introduced.
No, luncheon meat existed, not spam. Spam is a specific brand.
Yeah, it was introduced.
That's what I'm saying. It's we were just talking about the brand, but the invention of spam existed way before then.
Look under potted meat. Look under potted meat when it was used.
I would expect it to go right back.
Yeah, LDG. German likes the thumbnail you helped me create. So.
Oh. Good to see you, baby. Oh, yes. You look ready to be jumped on.
You bet. Could you give LDG a nice little talking?
Nice little what?
Nice little talking to.
What about?
His choice.
She's already done that multiple times.
His choice of food and what the hell he's putting in his body.
What's he eating today? It was sushi yesterday.
Eggs and ramen.
Oh. Well, eggs are okay. They're binding. Ramen noodles, they're not big over here. We have super noodles. I suppose that's the nearest.
Yeah.
Equivalent.
I don't mind the eggs and the ramen noodles. That's fine because I usually will add an egg when I cook ramen noodles anyway.
Exactly.
But the fact that you have basically just the noodles on top of eggs with ketchup on top, that is disgusting.
It's all mixed together.
Well, it looked when you showed it up, it looked like you just had noodles on top of eggs covered in ketchup, and that's disgusting.
Nope. It was cooked. It was all cooked and mixed in the same bowl.
If you try to feed that to me, I'll give it to Rex.
But you fucking put ketchup all over it. That's disgusting.
I used to get like the fajita chicken.
Isn't spaghetti and meatballs have ketchup in it?
Yeah.
No. Ketchup is sugar tomato.
Yeah, I used to get
and what's tomato sauce?
Chicken or the fajita beef.
Salty tomato.
Then fry them up in a frying pan and mix them into my ramen noodles. The fajita meats.
Next time, I'm gonna mix ramen noodles with my foot up someone's ass. Next time, we'll see if that makes it better.
Slide in better.
Did we lose? Oh, positive.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I got
Oh,
a
damn.
T-shirt here. Where is it?
This is actually kind of funny. The amount of sodium in a single can of Spam is
Very
over
high.
half of what your daily intake should be.
Yeah.
Only
That's
half?
why it lasts forever in a can.
Only half? I thought it'd be a lot. Well, what's the serving size?
Very salty. You're right.
What's the serving size?
340 grams. Well, they're talking. The serving size is 100 grams, but they're talking about an average 12-ounce tin, which is about 340 grams.
Yeah, but okay, so like my Mountain Dew bottle here has 3.5 servings in it. How many servings are in a can of Spam? Just one?
Okay, Jordan, let's do some math real quick. I said a serving is supposed to be 100 grams. The average can is 340 grams.
So 3.5.
Can you figure out how many servings there are in that can?
12.
There's approximately 4.5 servings.
3.4.
I'm sorry, that was funny. I like that. That was
Sorry,
good.
my mouth was off. Sorry.
12.
Dude, how hungry are you, man?
Jordan, you are a primary example of the United States education system. Thank you so much for being our demonstration.
Love the education.
He's going on how much he would put in his mouth and give up, I think.
And as I was
That's what she said.
There's a joke in there.
Yes,
That's what made me
I
jump
agree.
on this
JP,
search.
soy sauce and sriracha.
I agree, soy sauce, definitely. And that's loaded with salt as well. But,
Well, yeah, but sriracha is also one of the greatest products that comes out of California.
which we don't have here. I've never heard of it till recently. Someone described it to me. It sounds nice.
It's like a Korean or Chinese spicy sauce that was brought over here and really adopted by the Mexican culture to the point where every Mexican restaurant in San Diego and a lot of them in northern Mexico have sriracha sauce.
It's a bit like our Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, it's generic hot sauce, basically.
It's not generic. It's really good though. It's one of those ones that's not hot for the sake of it just being as hot as possible, which I enjoy.
Hey, can you share my screen? I got a little visual here for your vet.
If it's a picture of your penis again, I'm going to ban you.
Don't say again.
I can't read that. Come here, hang on.
I'll enlarge it for you. I'll enlarge it. Hang on. There you go.
Yeah. I posted one very similar that spelled out donuts or pancakes, I think, the other day. Pancakes. All the chemical symbols that spells out pancakes.
That is clever. I will say that is clever.
Yeah. Again, that was on Facebook.
What's this?
It's a,
The plate.
It's a physics
C6HQ206.
Actually, it's
Okay.
Chemistry joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I said I posted one on Facebook with pancakes in the chemical symbols the other day.
No, one of my favorite memes online was someone who was sending something to an anti-vaxxer, and it was, which of these chemicals do you find offensive and shouldn't be put in the human body? And he lists a whole bunch of them, and the person's like, none of them should be in the human body. They're all chemicals, and he says that's the chemical composition of an apple.
Yeah.
I just hate how stupid people are, and how things can get, companies and other such can get away with it.
Oh, you want to talk about stupid people? Okay, here we go.
Well, hold on, Elijah. Let me give an example. LDG recently on Twitter. What did I post that you were like? I can't wait for diet water. And I literally did a search for diet water, and you can buy a 6-pack on Amazon of diet gluten-free water.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's got to be a
No,
joke.
it is 100% serious.
There used to be something called Water Joe, which was water and caffeinated out of the Water Joe. They had caffeine-free Water Joe.
You know, and more for the people that buy this stuff. I'm sorry, but if consumers will buy it, then they will make it. And you see, that wouldn't happen here. The laws prevent that. But,
Well, see, my
JPs,
problem is the word organic. Because I literally had a conversation over, I was overhearing a conversation at one of my stores over last week. And they were like, well, I want to make sure I get the organic pasta, not the inorganic pasta. And I'm like, organic means contains carbon. They're both fucking organic.
well, unfortunately, the mainstream have adopted organic for something that is grown wild and free.
Without
not in
any
a greenhouse.
The problem is that type of organic is still a legal definition. It's not a health or science definition.
Absolutely.
So, people who think they know what organic means because they don't do any freaking thought into it. Organic still has pesticides put on. There just have to be organic pesticides. Well, what are organic pesticides? The shitty ones.
Yeah.
And because they're shitty, you got to put a whole bunch more on there. So that you're not buying something that's pesticide free. You're buying something that's riddled with pesticides.
Just stop growing your food outside.
Like buying sugar-free
It's 2022. Like, we shouldn't need farms anymore.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about?
How are you gonna
Indoor
get bread?
farms.
Why
No
would you
bugs.
want that?
Bugs will find a way, dude.
Bugs are full of protein.
Yeah.
Bugs cannot find their
That's not
way.
the problem.
What?
Dude. Okay, imagine
It's very-
this. Imagine this. You have the cleanest place in the whole entire world. A bug
Yep.
is going to get in. Why? Because like any other creature, they're going to try to find solitude from the environment. A bug
Well, that's
will
why
find
you-
a way
that's-
in.
That's why you release. Come on now, it's not that hard to create. All you got to do is create a huge room that's vacuum sealed, right? So there's no air, nobody can breathe, no bugs, and then all the plants are inside these reverse homogeneous vacuum bags that do have air. That way, there's a barrier, but the bugs can't get in.
The plant will die if it's vacuum sealed.
Yeah, LDG,
No.
you're,
It's reverse vacuum
LDG,
sealed.
you're really not a botanist, and as someone who actually
What
has an
about
organic
sunlight?
degree, let me
Oh,
just say,
hey,
you're
don't
fucking wrong.
start pulling the I am not a certified whatever bullshit. Of course I'm not.
What about sunlight, photogenesis? Plants
All that can
need
be
that.
all that. They have indoor farms.
Okay,
And that's
imagine
what makes
putting
them not
imagine
taste of anything.
LDG.
Anything indoors tastes of nothing.
Stand in.
Yeah,
Why don't you put
LDG.
yourself in a hermetically sealed vacuum pack and tell me, can you survive without oxygen?
He
No.
said reverse. They keep
What part?
keeping a vacuum outside and the air inside, although the air would run out because you're not refreshing it. But I'm not going to bully you on that one. But
Again,
Yeah.
inside the
LDG
vacuum sealed room
A plant breathes
are
carbon
No, hold
the
dioxide.
on.
plants are inside another
No,
room inside of that
Forget-
does have air.
Forget the vacuum sealed part, okay? What are you going to use to help these plants grow? Because you do understand that not all lights react to artificial sunlight as certain other plants, correct?
It's not that hard to use real sunlight. The Egyptians figured out how to do it.
Okay, so you want to use real sunlight in hermetically sealed buildings.
No, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Don't try to construct what I'm saying as actual fact, okay? I'm just making you think by saying shit.
No,
There's
you're
a way to
saying
do it.
stupid shit that is hurting my brain.
Thank you. Mission accomplished. Next. No, but seriously though, they can figure out a way to do it. They just don't want to do it.
No, they
I'm
can't.
sorry.
Because not all plants are created equal.
They can figure out how to do it. Fact.
Tomatoes and strawberries and cucumbers we buy in the winter are grown in large greenhouses here. I never buy them because they taste of nothing but water. They have no flavor. I only ever buy strawberries when they're in season and picked fresh. Tomatoes, they're easy to grow anyway. Even I can grow a tomato.
Yeah, you can grow them inside, upside down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but corn and wheat you cannot grow with artificial sunlight.
They figured out how to grow freaking potatoes in the desert, bro. I mean,
Actually,
we're learning how to.
On the space station.
Wait. Hold on. Let me. I want to ask you this, LDG. You're telling me that a plant that it was evolved to grow in a desert was able to grow in the desert?
Oh, okay. One that's not.
Wow.
Is potatoes a desert? It's not a desert plant, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The original tuber variety that most cultivated potatoes are from is from the central area of South America, and it was from the desert, the part of the desert or part of the rainforest that borders the desert. Because
borders the desert. Okay, so it wasn't actually the desert. Okay.
But the reason
borders the desert. There's a huge difference.
I go to the ocean and it's cold as fuck here doesn't mean just because something borders it, temperature is right.
The reason the tuber part exists was basically a way for the plant to store nutrients and water during the times it wasn't getting enough water or nutrients in the desert. That's why it exists.
You know, I've been to Epcot. Okay, I've seen them growing plants in thin air. Okay. Thin air hanging down from the ceiling.
Okay.
No? Nobody? I've seen it. Anyone else seen it?
I've seen everything been grown on the space station one way or another. That doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
Some of the food grown on the space station is edible, but they're missing some nutrients.
Yeah.
Not to mention with when it's actually involved in the environment it's supposed to be grown in, they do taste different, LDG, because it's the impurities.
Everything tastes different. That's default. Exactly. You're wanting to taste shit in your body instead of the good stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Dude. Okay. Let me tell you this. The higher you go from your Earth's surface, your taste buds are going to be off. That's why airline food tastes disgusting because your taste buds are off.
I love airline food.
Imagine astronauts. Their taste buds are so off they have to have specialized food there. They'll eat that food. They'll come back down to Earth. It'll taste entirely different. It's missing some nutrients.
Oh, the last thing I wanted to point out about vacuum surrounding the food. The cockroach has been tested in every environment imaginable and has survived them all, including a vacuum.
Well, it didn't survive in the vacuum for very long, but
it didn't survive
long enough to probably.
But it was like a 95% vacuum. It was able to survive for like weeks.
Yeah.
And tardigrade survived with 100% vacuum for a year.
Oh yes, the tardigrade. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a cute
doesn't
pet.
count because that thing's a fucking alien.
No, he isn't. He's got little legs.
Come on, water bugs are
tail.
cute. There's about 1 billion water bugs per human. They're the most abundant life form on this planet.
Yeah, but the tardigrade is special. It looks like something you keep as a pet.
Yeah, look at Star Trek Discovery, season 1.
Well, it's fairly easy to keep them as a pet. You just put them in a jar of water and you let them live.
Yep, it's a bit like the sea monkeys, isn't it? The tiny brine.
Oh yeah, the brines. Oh my gosh,
Now they survive all sorts. You can dry them out, then rehydrate them, and they'll live.
All right. Well, I can't do anything that I want to do in the storage unit right now because the battery's fucked. So I'm gonna go back out to the car so I can smoke a cigar. I'll be right back. Oh, I'll leave the mic on, but I'm gonna turn off the camera.
God. Oh, man, finally.
What?
Oh no, so
Bite me, LDG.
Don't tempt him.
He might. Wow, everybody talk at once now. Okay.
Well, they're so busy arguing, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well,
What,
we
that
always just
they
have
can grow
LDG say
plants?
something incredibly wrong again, and then we can argue with him and not him still be convinced he's right.
It's basically all you
Even-
do is just
even
say
when I am
anything
right.
random. Oh, that was wrong again. Yep, that's another wrong statement.
I'm always right.
No, the wife is always right. You're not white. You're not right. The wife is always right, man. It's the only one who's ever right all the time is the wife.
No one's always right.
Yeah, see, JP's knows what I'm talking about. Thank you, JP's.
Yes, but they have a slight taste to them. But if you eat one
Yeah,
from a greenhouse, they don't have that taste. They just have no taste.
A good cucumber actually is slightly sweet.
You need to remove the pips as well. I've grown my own cucumbers in the past. You have to remove the spikes off the skin because natural cucumbers have spikes on the outside because it's a cactus type thing.
Yeah.
Whereas shop bought ones have it modified, or rather, they bred them without the spikes and the seeds are soft. But if you grow a natural one, the seeds you have to remove. You have to peel the skin. But the taste is phenomenal.
Yeah, I would guess I'd say the modern man-made cucumber wasn't the primary variety I don't know about Great Britain, but the primary variety here in the United States, I believe, was brute force GMO'd via radiation treatments in order to.
I'm no expert on it, to be honest, Mike. I just know I've grown a natural cucumber and was very surprised that I had to.
Yeah, they're much sweeter, but you're right. The seeds are bigger, harder to digest.
Yeah.
And the eyes
Very
form spikes.
bitter skin with spikes. Yeah. And very, very sweet inside after you manage to take everything off it. A bit of a pain in the
JP,
arse.
you ever had a sweet cucumber before? Because as I said, I've had cucumbers that are sweet inside.
Yeah, kind of like a Vidalia onion.
The bitter taste, usually, if it's bitter inside, it's been grown too long. That's what turns the actual flavour bitter. I know that. That's from growing them naturally, though. I don't know about the ones that are grown in the shops that you just chop up and eat.
Interesting.
You know, bananas were blue originally. And then a secondary banana, which was yellow in colour, that wasn't particularly eaten. They bred the two together because people were put off by the blue colour, and they bred them together and created what we have now. So it's just a piece of information in my head. You'll have to Google it, people.
Bananas are freaking nuts because they're like so genetically stagnant that one bad disease is going to wipe out the entire crop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're so dependent on humans for survival at this point because you can't grow the modern banana to eat. They literally just cut off parts of existing plants and graft them to create new ones.
Yeah, the banana was basically genetically engineered for human consumption.
Well, not yet. It was in those days they modified it by breeding other banana plants that were not eaten and mixing them like they do with the potatoes, and you splice. I know how you do it with potatoes because I actually had a go at doing it. Splicing, you take the roots and you slice them down the length.
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting. You bet.
Blend them together. Sorry?
I said sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay.
Hey, so look at this. Is a new
you said
craze.
You're, cultivating English cucumbers. As I said, I don't think the ones we're referring to are English cucumbers.
Hey, Vile.
What?
It is a new crave going on right now.
Crave?
For the states that are banning abortion, there are foods you can eat that will abort your baby. Did you know that?
Gin.
There are
Yeah, so you don't have to go get an abortion. You just have to eat these foods, and you get a natural abortion.
except for the fact that there, at least the Ohio one specifically has written into the law, if you've actually read it, that if you do anything that would induce an abortion, even accidentally, you can be charged with murder.
So what about somebody who intentionally gets drunk and loses the baby? Does that
Yeah,
mean the
but-
bartender?
Yeah,
exactly. But
They will
eating
go
is
to- they will-
is
As of right now, until someone has it, it is on the books that they will be charged with murder.
Is the bartender will the bartender be held accountable for serving alcohol to the pregnant woman who
Yes,
aborted her fetus?
that was one of the ones they were talking about. But Elihu, let's put it this way: if you accidentally fall down the stairs while pregnant, you could be charged with murder. At least in the state of Ohio.
I'm looking this up. That doesn't sound right.
that doesn't sound right at all.
No.
They've said if you either intentionally or unintentionally cause your fetus to miscarry, you can be charged with murder.
Well, you know, AP News changed their headline within a few minutes. This woman who was killed in an accident, the headline said, "Woman and her unborn baby." And a few minutes later, the headline was retracted and changed to, "Pregnant woman gets into an accident, loses the baby and her life." Okay. Pregnant woman to an unborn child. What's going on, AP?
Shouldn't be driving. You're pregnant. You need to be put into a. You need to be put into a, like when you get pregnant, you need to get put into a stasis box so nothing happens to you at all.
Frozen in carbonite.
Hey, that's. I think you're wrong here because you can get one up to 22 weeks in Ohio.
I hate to say this, but America takes everything to the nth degree, literally.
Yes.
Hello world, it's Birdo55, Kapla.
Hey, Bert,
How you doing, Bird?
I don't see what's so hard to understand. They believe that abortion is murder, so of course, whether you do it intentionally or unintentionally, you're be charged. You unintentionally kill your kid, you're going to be charged. I mean, hopefully at trial, you don't go to prison for the rest of your life.
Well, technically, a car accident would be the other person's fault, not theirs. So it all depends what you point
if
at,
you're in
I
a
guess.
car
Well, the
accident, you're
thing
not
is
going to get charged.
The laws, as a lot of the laws as written, are really vague and really stupid.
That's because lawyers wrote them.
No, it's because politicians wrote them, not the lawyers.
Usually the politicians have law backgrounds.
Not
The ones
always.
writing it. Not always. You're true.
I'm sorry. Are you actually saying politicians write things down? They don't do none of that. They have other people
The
to do that for
politicians
them.
aren't the ones usually writing.
Yeah, they're not writing shit.
Yeah, they set the
The
policy.
only thing they're
They have
writing
somebody
is signing
the
their
language.
checks.
No, they write the policy. They set the policy. Then it has somebody writing legalese.
Yeah. But either way, it's still, most of them are really stupidly written. I mean, especially the ones that are all about, protecting freedoms or something. Most of them are not about protecting freedoms because they end up doing something stupid, like that one law in that one state that banned all marriage on accident.
Apparently, nobody gives a shit about protecting our constitutional freedoms. So,
Yeah, let me give you an
there's a
example.
point.
Let me give you an example here.
Half
San
the
Francisco.
country is so happy to see a certain Mr. Jones get millions of dollars against him for freedom of speech. They're cheering in the streets as freedom of speech is being eroded. The other half of the country is so happy to tell people what they can and can't do with their bodies. Like I was saying, the other half of the country.
Because that's,
is
you
happy.
just brought up a subject. Let's go ahead and talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Alex Jones thing. Okay.
Sure.
He was saying untrue things about murdered kids.
Who the fuck cares?
And he's saying that should be allowed.
I don't care
And
if he's doing untrue things. I say untrue things all the time. The moon is
but
purple.
he was also,
The moon is
he was
pink.
because of the way he was talking, he was basically advocating violence against these parents.
No, he wasn't advocating violence. He
Yes, he
said,
was.
I watched. He wasn't advocating violence. Other people may have decided to commit violence, but that's on them. That's not on him. Okay? You can't
Why not?
say, What if I say you're advocating violence right now? What defense
How?
do you have to that?
Yeah, Charlie
You're
Manson
making me
never.
so
Charlie
angry,
Manson
I
never
wanna
killed
commit
anybody.
violence.
Yeah, Charlie Manson
You're
never killed
making me
anybody.
so angry, Vile. I want to go out and commit violence, and I do, and I blame you. Should New York City arrest you? Should you be liable to the victims I lay behind?
Yeah, Charlie
If
Manson
I
never
go
killed
out
anybody.
right now and I drive my wheelchair into somebody at full speed and knock them off a bridge and they fall on the highway and die, should everybody who's in the accident be able to sue you because I blame you for what I did? No, it's bullshit. You're allowed to have
Yeah,
the
but it's a
stream.
little,
You can talk about
it's a
anything
little
you
bit
want.
different. Hold on, Bird. It's a little bit different when you're
No,
saying that
it's not different. It's
when you
absolutely the same.
when you have a platform like that, like
Nope.
say me on this
Sorry.
YouTube, and I'm saying Birdo Prey 5 needs to be brought to justice. The police aren't doing anything, but he needs to be brought to justice. You need to go out and make sure he's brought to justice.
He never said that.
Hey,
You
okay,
find me
here's
where Alex Jones says you
come
need
on.
to go out and
That is
do
exactly his shtick.
that. It's his shtick. That's not okay. That's not what he said though.
here's a better example. What if
Hang
you
on.
go, Vile? What if you
Bert,
go
what did he say?
Nothing of that kind. He said they were crisis actors. He said this is bullshit and stuff like that. He didn't say go out and bring people to justice, start shooting from the rooftops or something.
So basically, because he towed the line where he didn't say actually kill these people, he just said that you need to go do something about it. And because he just kept it vague, it was okay.
You know
Yep.
what? Yeah. All
Look,
the time
yes,
people
thank
keep
you.
things vague. It means vote
No.
people out. It could be
Exactly.
okay. We know there's plenty of things from the liberal side where they say worse. Okay, you have AOC and people actually saying, bring down the government, bring down this, bring down that.
No,
tear
Maxine
this
Waters.
down.
Maxine Waters outside the courthouse there in Minneapolis.
And you know what? It's her
She said-
God-given right to say those things.
Yeah, what about
I
Maxine
will
Waters?
defend them till the day I die.
Yeah.
If they want to say whatever the fuck they want to say, it's their right, and they should never
Thank you.
be arrested for saying it.
No,
or be
no,
the
Bird.
subject
I
of
would say, hold on. If I were to say that Birdo Prey
Thank you, Bird.
5, let's say I don't even want to say what I want to say because one, it's untrue, and two, because it's completely fucked up.
Oh, hey, Vile. What about when Maxine Waters was telling people that they see anybody from the Trump administration at a restaurant or at a gas station or anything to get in their faces and kick them out? So you think she should get arrested for that?
Say what?
When
should Maxine Waters be either arrested or even not arrested, just financially liable for telling people that if you see anybody from the Trump administration in a restaurant, you get in their face, you get them kicked out.
Jimmy.
What's the difference between Maxine Waters saying that and Joe Smo saying
hold on. I would seriously say that if violence occurs against a Trump supporter by a non-Trump supporter and they specifically say because of Maxine Waters' statements, I would say yes, she needs to be held liable.
That's
Okay,
so
so-
fucking ridiculous.
But what do you call a
So
Trump
every-
supporter? Anybody who kills in my name is not my supporter.
What if I really didn't like Maxine Waters? I would just go out and punch a Trump supporter
Exactly.
and blame Maxine Waters.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or when
I
she-
hate to say
when
this,
she
but they're
got-
morons.
Then
do
everybody
that.
in Antifa and BLM in the Twin Cities here should get because she riled them up during the Chauvin case there. She riled them up and said if we didn't get the verdict we want, they'll make their voices even louder even after they're burning down the buildings and stuff.
Sounds like January 6th in Washington, D.C., what Trump said.
What?
Yeah.
What? Go home peacefully?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the
I
peaceful
don't think-
protest at January 6th.
Oh, yeah, there was real
yeah, people got killed and injured. Yeah,
Nobody got killed because of the protest.
One person got killed. One
except
woman got
people
killed.
by police.
Hey, okay. What about the 3 dozen people that are killed during the BLM riots? Nobody's talking about that.
Well, hold on.
Or the
One-
700.
Hold on. Jordan, doing whataboutism doesn't help any argument.
That's what you're doing.
If you're going to argue one point, you have to argue that one point.
Which is what I was trying to do, but you wanted to stop and talk about it. So we're talking about it.
Yeah, because it's
My
a topic
point
that
was,
is
it
popular
doesn't
today,
matter which
and I
side.
think that's a good idea.
It doesn't matter which side. I will support either side's freedom of speech. Freedom of
Thank you.
speech means you can say just about whatever the F you want. Okay. Yeah. You don't
And have no
yell fire
consequences.
in a burning building. We know that. Okay. But if I want to say that Sandy Hook was, and I don't want to say it on YouTube because, but if I want to say that thing about Sandy Hook, I should be allowed. If I want to say 9/11 was an inside job, I should be able to say it. As stupid as it would make me look,
Exactly.
I should be able to say it without
Yes.
having to worry about being sued by anyone.
Exactly.
I
And
would-
you can
Now,
and
listen,
you can
listen.
yell fire
Listen.
in a building as long as you say
I
you're
would-
joking first.
Let me hold on. I will agree with you, Bird, that you should have the right to say that. But what you don't have the right to do is say that something along the lines of 9/11 was an inside job. It was caused by the Jews. We need to stop the Jews.
No, I should have the right to say that.
You should have the
No.
right to say that.
Yeah, I got a
Why
question.
not?
That's obviously
That's what
stupid.
you're now
I have a
inciting
question.
violence against people.
I didn't incite violence.
But you're inciting violence no matter what you say.
Yes, you
I
did.
have a question, guys.
You're inciting violence by speaking
There's
right
no
now.
There's
Let me
no
ask
insight of violence. In
I
this.
want to kick your
Let me
ass
ask-
right now. You're
Let me
inciting
ask a
violence right
question.
now.
Let me ask a question. Bird, you said somebody can say what they want to say and have no retaliation, right? It doesn't really matter, right? Basically, that's what you just said. So why is it that everybody's freaking out because Kyle Rittenhouse got offended because of the View, and the View had to pay a
What?
certain fine because he got offended?
I don't give a shit about Kyle Rittenhouse
Hold
and
on,
who
hold
he's
on.
able to speak.
Elijah, again.
Exact same thing you
Again,
said.
Hold
I
on.
was saying-
Elijah, whataboutism. And I don't want to do about whataboutism right now. Okay?
You're always going to find examples of things from one side or the other. So
Exactly.
again, I will fight this battle from the opposite side. I don't care. Kyle Rittenhouse, Kyle Rittenhouse should not have been able to sue.
Okay.
Although he didn't
Now,
sue
Darren
a
brings
person,
up a point.
he
Hold
sued
on.
a corporation.
Darren says Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't just offended, he was slandered. Now, would you argue that what Alex
Slander?
Jones, and I'm trying to bring this back around to the point we were talking about, do you think he committed slander or libel in this case against the Sandy Hook victims by saying that it was a false flag event or something like that?
Slander is against a person.
Character.
If he
Well,
slandered
slander
a
is
specific
against
person,
the law. So, is
If he
he guilty
slandered-
of slander?
if he slandered a specific person, if that's the trial, then fine. Was this a slander trial?
Well, it was originally supposed to be a
Defamation
slander
trial.
type trial, but unfortunately, he didn't actually do what he was supposed to do, so he was immediately found guilty. Because he decided to ignore the problem as opposed to actually trying to provide evidence of the contrary.
Can I have one, please?
Tell him no, Jordan. Tell him no.
Guys, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to drop out and go drug my mother. I'm sure I'd get done for that in America, but I'm in England. Thank God.
Legally
Um,
drug.
all right.
Legally drug. Your mother.
Hopefully, we'll
I'll
see you
let
again.
Karen
for that.
come up and get hot-headed with the rest of you. I don't understand most of this because it's illogical here, and I know we just don't sue people. It's very rare. We don't have that sort of.
What?
What do you
That's
mean?
because
They
in
sue-
Yvette, in your country, when you accuse somebody of doing something like that, of slander or libel, and you're proven or the evidence shows the contrary, then you are held liable for the damages. Here in the United States, you're not.
There we
It's why it's so prevalent here.
are. Yes, you pay all the court costs if you lose on anything. On a
If you know
private
anything about
case.
slap lawsuits, that's essentially what a large portion of these are. They're lawsuits meant to keep people quiet for a long period of time.
Right. Okay. God bless America. I will be listening.
Bye.
All right. See you later.
Vile. Yes. Lawsuit, slander and
See you, bud.
defamation. I agree. If somebody is losing money because they've been slandered or whatever, yes, then they have a right to sue for the money they lost plus, whatever, a bit. I would agree with, and I think that's still, it's not necessarily a law. I mean, and that's partially my fault because this wasn't a criminal act. This is a civil lawsuit. So yes, it's a civil statute that you can't slander somebody or whatever, and I would agree with that. But the point is, if let's say one of the parents couldn't get a job because Alex Jones said he was a crisis actor, and then he's suing him for, $1 million, maybe the amount he would have made at that job, I could I could understand that, and they can go to court and whatever. But there's no conceivable way somebody's reputation was damaged anywhere near to the tune of $40-something million. Okay, that is just beyond ridiculous. Okay, that is, I want to destroy your life, not I want to be made whole. Okay,
Yeah.
You can sue to make yourself whole after you've been wronged. You can't sue somebody to destroy their life. At least you shouldn't be able to sue somebody to destroy their lives. The court can take the case, but the court should immediately, say, well, the actual max damages in this are, set a max.
What?
Instead, we get a jury that's like, okay, they're all Elihu's who want to send a message. And they're like, 100, 200
Why didn't Johnny
million
Depp
dollars.
get that much, for God's sakes? He deserved it.
Johnny
All right,
Depp
hold on.
deserves shit.
I did a
I
quick
don't give a
Google.
shit with Johnny Depp
I-
or Amber Heard. God.
Darren said you can get sued and not break the law. For example, it's not against the law to break or breach a contract. I'm on findlaw.com right now, and they have a breach of contract case as an example, and I just thought this example was funny as all hell, so I thought I'd read it to you guys.
Can I hear little BB-8?
Let's assume that Roadrunner contracts with Acme Anvil for the purchase of some products for delivery by the following Monday evening. If Acme delivers the anvils to Runner on the following Tuesday morning, its breach of contract would likely be deemed immaterial, and Roadrunner would not likely be entitled to money damages unless he could show that he was somehow damaged by the late delivery. However, assume now that the contract stated clearly and explicitly that time is of the essence and the anvils must be delivered on Monday. If Acme delivers after Monday, its breach of contract would likely be deemed material, and Roadrunner's damages would be presumed, making Acme's liability for the breach more severe, and likely thus relieving Runner of the duty to pay for the anvils under the contract. And the only thing I wanted to bring up about it that I thought was really funny is it's not the Roadrunner who usually buys the anvils, it's the Wile E. Coyote.
Basically, what you're stating is it's written in a contract for specific parameters to be fulfilled, and whoever held the contract defied it and broke that agreement.
Yeah, this is no different than yelling fire in a freaking movie theater. It's a contract. If you tell people you're joking before you say fire, then it's null and void. But if you just go in there and yell fire without that stipulation clause, then yeah, you're screwed.
Well, basically, Darren, technically, I would argue that based on what I just read and some other stuff that I didn't read out loud, it is breaching a contract in and of itself is not the illegal. You did not break the law on that point. It's the damages caused by breaking the contract that is illegal.
No, it's violent. It's a civil statute versus a criminal statute. Civil,
Yes,
you're found.
that
The worst
true.
that can be happen is you're found liable for owing money. A criminal is you actually get arrested.
Yeah.
You don't get arrested for breaking a contract unless there's like fraud involved. If you
Well, that's
break
because
up millions
in the case of
contracts,
That's because
then
in
you
the case
got
of something
fraud.
like this, a contract is kind of like a law agreed between two individuals or two companies or something like that, or two or more parties. So the government is just enforcing the law that was written into by those parties, but it's not really a law. You know what I mean? It's not really a law. It's just an agreement by these two, and
the government is only enforcing the actual contract. They're not going to, send someone to jail for breaking a contract.
The government doesn't enforce contracts. It only holds people liable for if they find the contract was valid and they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Literally
whatever.
shot somebody to death, and they didn't arrest him because of stupid contract.
Okay, stop. What is with the whataboutisms today?
Well, I don't even know what a
Not sure what you
whataboutism
mean by
is.
a whataboutism on that one.
Yeah.
That's because, well, LDG, someone getting shot is not a civilian contract.
Well, I might put out a contract on somebody. That might mean they're supposed to be shot.
What are you talking about, civilian contract? I just said you can shoot somebody, kill them, and not be arrested because of contracts. The only reason why he did not get arrested.
Oh.
I have no idea what you're talking about now, LDG.
What's his name?
I
Who's the guy I'm trying to talk about?
Smoking all the marijuana is Elihu.
Alec Baldwin shot somebody and killed them. If it was any other person in any other situation, not a movie production, that person would be immediately arrested and even charged with, at minimum, freaking involuntary manslaughter. You still would get arrested. He didn't get arrested. Why? Because contracts.
You do realize
don't
that there's
get
three
arrested.
pillars when it comes to something like that. You got to have motive, opportunity, and what's the other thing? I can't remember offhand.
I'm sorry, but you can shoot and kill somebody and never be arrested. It happens all the time.
He did have motive there, and he did have the opportunity. Because everybody was.
We're not talking self-defense, Bird. We're
Sorry,
not talking.
motive, opportunity, and intent.
This does not fall under that category at all.
Yeah, look at Michael Massey, guys. He was never charged or shot or charged or anything. You guys know who Michael Massey was, right?
No, never even.
I know who Michael Massey
we
is.
don't. You know we don't.
He was the guy who shot Bruce Lee.
If I go out and make a home movie and I accidentally shoot somebody during my home movie, I'm going to jail.
No, because intent has a purpose, Elihu. Or, sorry, LDG.
But if you accidentally shoot somebody, the accident isn't that it was an actual accident. The accident was that you were negligent. So that's negligence.
Yes, and you have to be negligent. Was he negligent?
Shoot somebody. Guns just don't.
But that's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's
the
not
same
the
thing.
same
Of
thing.
Alec Baldwin was negligent. You cannot tell me negligence is not the cause of Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, I don't know enough about what really happened. Okay.
He didn't check the weapon. That's it.
Listen,
that was the
he's
last
an
thing.
actor. He doesn't have to check the weapon.
Okay, so you don't have to follow the laws or anything that helps with the laws.
If I'm an actor,
just because you're
there
doing a
are
movie.
no laws about having to check a
would
weapon
assume-
when you're handed one.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There should be.
Yes, there probably should be, but there isn't.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How
Thank
could
you.
he
Made
check
my
the
point.
weapon if he handed it if he's live doing a movie shoot? How would you do that when
They weren't. It wasn't even a shoot. They weren't even recording this. It wasn't even it was a practice.
Again, like I said,
It wasn't even a real shot.
Because I'm not that familiar. But that's his story or your story, somebody's story that was a practice. I don't know what really happened. It was happened on a movie set. And even if it wasn't that time, then what happens on the set when they are recording and I get thrown a gun? I'm supposed to check the gun to see what? How could you determine?
That's okay. I have the answer. I have the answer for that. You're talking about a scene where you're like thrown a gun. Well, obviously, whoever was the last person to have the gun before you say action, all those guns should have already been checked. That did not happen. It doesn't matter what the scene. It doesn't matter what the scene is, Bird. There's procedure and then there's safety procedures.
There's no
matter if the gun is in somebody's hand or comes flying from the ground or materializes. I don't care where it comes from. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. You check your weapons before you say action.
It's
Period.
the regular responsibility, not the actors. It's the regular responsibility, not the actors.
I want to give one of the greatest gun performances that I've ever seen in a film. And have you guys ever seen Tremors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a point in the movie where the character Burt Gummer, played by Michael Gross,
What's the name
hands
of gun?
Melvin, I can't remember the actor's name, an unloaded pistol.
Before he hands the pistol to him, he checks to see if it's loaded or not. He knows it's not loaded. He still hands it over. And then when the character returns the unloaded gun, he still checks to see if it's unloaded, because that is proper gun safety. And as crazy as Burt Gummer comes off as a conspiracy theorist and a gun nut, he is still 100% dedicated to gun safety. It doesn't matter if he knows the gun is unloaded or not. He still checked it.
Yep.
Nobody's arguing that was a bad idea.
There was negligence and nobody got arrested. Why? Because of contracts. That was my original comment. Still right.
No.
I guarantee you, if I go outside the door right now and forget to check my gun and I'm making a home movie and I shoot somebody by accident, that is not going to, I'm going to jail. Period.
That's called negligence.
End of story.
You would go to jail
the
for
same
negligence.
exact
And
thing.
I would argue that whoever loaded the gun I would argue that the person who loaded the gun and gave it to Baldwin is probably the one that should be held liable.
Guys,
no. Okay. Clarify.
The regular checks the ammo. The regular checks
give me a second to clarify, because I'm focusing on him, but shut up for a second, please, dear God, dude. It is. You're right. There is a point of someone who was responsible for that gun. Yes, it shouldn't be Alec Baldwin. I was just saying it's him because he was the last. He was the last one. There was nobody after him. He made the final mistake. There were a bunch of mistakes made, and who's the root cause? Who's responsible for it on paper? Should have gotten arrested or something. I mean, they had an arms manager, that one lady that got the job because the person who they were going to hire to manage the guns said, hell no, there's too many safety problems. I'm not taking this job.
I would argue that anytime even prop firearms are used in a film, everyone who's involved with those firearms needs to be trained in gun safety. Period. And I would even extend it to fictional weaponry, so that even if someone like in Star Trek has a fake prop phaser, they should be treating those as real weapons.
Okay, the phasers. Okay, that's nonsense, dude.
I'm sorry.
No, I would say
so we actually
flashlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything that
But I
fires
would
a
just say
projectile needs to be trained in, basically.
Now, unless you're
lasers
talking
don't
about
fire
unless
projectiles,
you're talking about Bird, you'll agree with this. Unless you're talking about a prop that's fake, but it has electronicals innards, like a battery, a lithium battery or something that you got to test to see if it doesn't explode in your hand. Yeah, okay, maybe. That's as far as I'll go with it. Because there are props that are rigged to, do stuff. So you could have something wrong with an electronic.
I would argue that point
device.
only because I really think that gun safety is something we should take as a priority in this country, and unfortunately, it's not. And that's how I fucking ended up shot twice.
Maybe you were in the wrong place.
Yeah, I was
Can I ask you a
around people
question?
who didn't
Hey,
understand gun safety,
Viola.
but owned a lot of guns.
Wasn't that your brother who shot you though?
My brother and my cousin.
Damn, dude, your family doesn't like you. One question. Was one of those shots in the possibly in the head area by chance?
Foot and shin.
Oh, damn. Okay. That would have explained a couple things. Okay, never mind.
And yes, Darren, I do think that gun safety should be enforced even on fictional weapons, because there's a point of having safe practices when handling any firearm or any weapon.
But a phaser doesn't actually shoot anything, though. You're check to see if it's loaded.
It doesn't
okay,
matter.
done. I mean, what are you going to check?
what
What
do
are
you even do?
you going to do? Yeah. How do you
You
check?
open the phaser and check that it's on stun.
Guys,
Exactly. I can
do you
fit this in my
realize
mouth. I mean, what?
Do you realize that rubber knives and rubber swords, they're actually shown how to use a knife properly, even when it's rubber? So yeah. Fictional weapons do.
Okay. We're not going to talk stupid. Me and Bird are talking about a phaser, a ray gun. We're not talking about knives.
No, I'm
okay?
talking about what Darren said.
I don't care if the knife is made out of rubber. I don't care if the knife is supposed to retract. You're not sticking that shit in me for the off chance that it doesn't work right or it does puncture me.
Safety is done on those kind of stuff as well as all guns.
Yeah. Checking knives That's an actual fucking weapon. A phaser isn't. A phaser is a fucking triangle with curves and lights. Okay, there's no way a mock phaser can hurt you in any possible way, unless I
didn't say
it in your eye.
I would say you're absolutely correct, LDG. But the problem is when you show less gravitas to something like a phaser, it allows people to have lax attitudes when it comes to actual firearms.
Okay, so you're just saying force a habit is what you're advocating.
It is, Cinnabon. It is tiring. While I'm all for our gun safety in real guns, 100%, I agree. We could do better. We should be teaching people how to use the guns. Anyone who would be in contact with the gun should know how to, check it. Always check it. If you're not sure, you didn't have eyes on it, check it again. No risk in checking it 3 times. That I get you. I support that 100%. The moment you go to phasers, I'm sorry. I check it. I think you're hurting your argument more because you make people just tune you out.
Did you check the electronic screwdriver yet? Make sure that's not loaded, please.
The problem I would have with that bird, and I'm going to kick myself because this is a whataboutism, and I'm about to do it my fucking self. You understand that people on the street have been shot for carrying around toy guns.
Yeah, but that's
different. That's police. Incompetence. Yeah, incompetent police. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but one cop
I'll grant you, if the gun looks real, like they took off the orange cover or it never had an orange cover, then the police might not be stupid. But I mean, police have shot people who have obvious toy guns. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you with that. People are going to get shot. They're going to get shot.
But not even with the orange tips.
They might have got shot carrying a candy bar instead of a gun.
I'd like to see your 6-year-old trying to lift a real gun.
Candy bars, and cops said I thought it was a gun. So what are you going to do? Check that your Twix bar isn't loaded.
Well, in all honesty, sometimes yeah.
How does one go about making sure their Twix bar is unloaded?
What I mean is we've had instances in this country of people being shot because they thought the person had a gun, but it was a cell phone. It was a stick of deodorant. It was something else.
Well,
the problem is we treat guns without the gravitas they deserve in this country.
But that doesn't serve your argument as to why I should be checking why a phaser is loaded or not. How would that prevent them from being shot?
I'm not saying you have to. The phaser's loaded because it's a prop. What I'm saying is you have to treat those types of weapons as they are real.
They're not
because
weapons.
You need to have.
They're not weapons. They're not weapons.
What do you mean they're not weapons? Within the context,
a phaser is not a weapon.
The only way a phaser
they're not.
Weapon is if it's thrown at you. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not a weapon.
By definition of a weapon, it can't hurt you.
Yeah, it's a weapon of imagination.
It's like a
That's
flashlight.
it. Yeah.
JP's, I'm so glad.
It is a flashlight. It's a flashlight that hurts. Yeah. Oh.
Because they are doing their job, a competent job.
Actually, Darren, the Ferengi energy whips are at least weapons, in that.
Yeah, at least they're whips.
They're whips. Whether the energy works or not, I still don't want to be whipped by one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How about them Dodgers? They still suck, right?
That's only because they're in Los Angeles.
Fucking Dodgers kicking Giants' ass.
I don't know how nerfy a whip can be. I don't want to test it.
It still hurts, man.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, MB. In that same respect vial, Mike. In that same respect vial, Mike. The chick who played Quake, did she check her hands before every shot?
Why is my damn alarm going off? Ain't time for my meds.
It's time.
Her hands were weapons.
I'll give you guys an example of something that actually happened a couple of months back. Mrs. Vile's brother bought a bunch of Nerf guns for their kids. Now, one of the things that one of the kids did, because they weren't understanding why the gun wasn't firing, was look down the frickin' barrel. And I was trying to explain to him, again, but it was kind of difficult because of the language barrier, that you never look down the barrel of a gun, even if it's a toy.
How's that so hard? My kids know that with real guns. My kids know the fundamental rules. Treat every weapon as if it's loaded. I know it's a toy, but still, it's a projectile.
Exactly.
Yeah, a phaser is not a projectile weapon. Like I said, the only way a phaser can hurt you is if it's thrown at you.
But the point of it is, if you don't show, think of it as method acting.
So
if you treat the weapon as if it's real, and you instill those values in yourself for even a fictional weapon, then you will treat the real ones with just as much respect.
Yeah, my son, when he was finally able to pull the charging handle back on I had a Ruger 22 long rifle. I had a Ruger that had a 22 long rifle which basically is just plinking for fun. And first time he was able to pull the charging handle back, he checked it to make sure it was empty, and he made sure that when he cocked it, he pulled it away from, he was not pointing it at anybody and kept his finger off the trigger. It's not a hard thing to teach. When I took my kids shooting several times at the range, I go through you go to a rifle range, and the range master is going to go through the rules with you. And I go through the rules, and generally everybody on a range is very safety conscious, especially when we have kids around.
NB, did you teach your kids when you're holding a gun, whether it's a rifle or a handgun, there's a ring by the trigger. You never put your finger on the trigger. You always put your finger on the ring, no matter what, unless you're actually going to pull the trigger. That's when you move your finger inside. You teach kids that. That's basically military training, right?
I taught them this. I taught them the same fundamentals the Marine Corps taught me. Treat every weapon as if it was loaded. Never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your finger straightened off the trigger till you're prepared to fire, and know your target.
Well, Darren, obviously you've never been on a movie set before, or TV set.
No, I do that. It does not matter how old they get. If we go to the range, we go through them every time. My kids know to check and see if they see me do it, because they see me. I check if the weapon's loaded every time. I don't care how many times I've picked it up. I always check.
Every fucking time.
Hey, you know what? It's 1 second.
The problem is, there is no rules. There are no laws, or most states don't have laws, I should say, where being trained to use a firearm is a requirement for actually owning or possessing or using a firearm. And like Darren says right now,
every fucking time.
So,
and like Darren says, he shouldn't have been pointing the weapon at people when he was rehearsing. That is absolutely correct. The problem is he wasn't trained not to. He thought it was a fake weapon, so therefore he was just going to point it at somebody.
Baldwin has 40 years experience. What are you talking about? With firearms.
Guys, you never been on a movie set, have you? The director will have a run through, which basically means act like the camera is rolling, which they would pull out the guns. They would do their blocking. They would say their lines. If the director looked at the screen and he saw what he liked with the lighting and everything, he'll say open lens, roll camera, action. If he doesn't, he'll say roll again.
I have a question. Are we talking about the Alec Baldwin thing? Are we talking about the Alec Baldwin?
I used it as an example. Listen, Alec Baldwin was told a very long time ago some things don't react well to bullets. So, he didn't learn his lesson.
No, my whole thing with that was why was there live ammunition on the set at all?
That's the Wranglers.
Because they were doing target practice.
She wanted to actually fire live rounds, and that's her excuse. Then she changed to go, I didn't know there was live rounds here. Then I might as well do some target shooting. Yeah, her story changed twice.
Okay, blanks are labeled and look different than real bullets.
Yeah, it's a flat shell.
Yes.
Well,
And they treat him
sometimes.
like a bitch.
A 22 blank is a flat shell. That's what he was firing. That's what his problem was. 22.
What did he do? What was the caliber he shot in that? Was it 22 long rifle?
I believe it was a 22.
Okay, well, its range of 22 can be fatal.
I don't know. It's supposed to be set in the 1800s, so if that helps.
Yeah, I'm just curious to what the caliber is because, people always talk about the gun. Okay, I have several rifles. I have several M4s. You know what they shoot? When I bought them, they are 22 long rifle. I bought them for my kids to be able to use them when we went to the range because I know the kickback is low because I had 22.
Okay, hold on. I just looked it up. The weapon that was used was a 45 caliber Colt revolver.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Okay, there's a reason why I don't do 45 or anything that kind of high caliber in a handgun because okay, I'm going to give you an example. So, if I'm shooting with a pistol with a 22 long rifle and it's got 13 rounds in it just for example or 10 rounds, whatever you want to say, I can do this. Boom, 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 boom. No problem. If I do my 9mm, I get a little kickback and I got to re-sight. I get a 45, I generally, you get that kickback. I mean, Dirty Harry did kind of, with the 44, there's a lot of kickback with that because you're getting the recoil from it. And that's one of the reasons why you do this. Okay, one thing that pisses me off in fucking movies is when idiots do this. Any TV show where they're doing this, I want to fucking bitch slap them. That was something about The Walking Dead. I wanted to bitch slap Rick every time he did that.
Yeah, hello, boom, boom.
Exactly.
Look at that. I even put a little meme on Twitter. People don't understand physics. You have a woman with her the scope right, but the barrel is right here. Not on her shoulder.
I saw that.
Yeah, people don't understand physics. Like, yeah.
I made one mistake with
I hate to try to do it like this. But this is the type of ammunition that was used in that accident. It is a 45 caliber blank.
Blanks are not harmless.
Those are folded. It looks different than a
yes,
shell, man.
I know. But those are the blanks that are supposed to be used in that type of weapon.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I stick with a 9mm. It's also what I was trained on, and it's what I'm most comfortable with. I'm most comfortable with a 9mm. Now, I'm going to sell probably to a gun store my 22s rifles, and I do want to get something 5.56 like an M4 or an AR-15 that is 5.56 because I'm comfortable with it and the recoil is not that bad, and my kids have gotten used to it. But yes, I understand there's no there's no requirement for a training course just to buy it. When I got my concealed carry in South Carolina, I did go to a training course, and it was actually great. I loved it because I got a lot of information out of it, and that was fine. But I just, if you're gonna buy, I will say this: if you buy a weapon, which I refer to them as, because I don't refer to them as tools. I refer to a knife as a tool. And I tell my kids, when I was first teaching this, I taught them, what is a toy? A toy is to play with. What is a tool? A tool is something that has multi-purpose functions. I said, this is a weapon. I said it has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to kill. I don't play around with that shit.
Yeah.
Then again, see, that's the problem, though. You're using guns to entertain, not to kill.
I keep thinking
That's the
of
problem.
that line.
So how are you supposed to do a
Full
Western
Metal
movie
Jacket.
without a gunfight? How are you supposed to do Tombstone without a gunfight? You're telling a story.
What?
What? Look, this is I mean, let's be honest. This is only the second time most of us have ever heard of a live round killing someone. It was on that set, and then the last one we heard about was back with Brandon Lee.
Yeah,
and the
Angel, whatever, the Crow. Yeah.
Yeah, the Crow. That was I mean, that's a huge gap between the two timelines.
Yeah, Michael
We need
Madsen.
to put that in perspective.
Well, there was a couple before between then. Just they weren't known. There was one guy who died from being shot by a blank.
And that can't happen. See, when we were in the Marine Corps, even though we were firing blanks, we had to put BFAs on there.
What's a VFA?
It's basically goes on the front of the rifle. Okay. It goes on it's a little red thing that you screw on. It goes on the front of the rifle, and it keeps the projectile of the blank from going out. It just ejects from the cartridge.
All right, so hold on. Darren says only 6 states require a gun safety course before legally purchasing a firearm. I call that natural selection. So, are you saying that the states that require that being more fit or less fit, if you're going to go by that metaphor?
Can I, Mike? I'm going to say this as
Someone has to turn their radio down.
As someone who is actually a person who really is a Second Amendment guy, I will say this. I don't have a problem with states stipulating rules like training and stuff if that's required, if they want to do that, because I believe that it does not violate the Second Amendment. I think that falls under the 10th Amendment.
Oh, personally, I would completely agree with you there.
So
well,
if
it would have been true before the 14th or whatever amendment they're using now to justify that states are not allowed to break the Constitution, which is
that's
ridiculous.
not necessarily breaking the Constitution. Look at for example, let's look at your state of New York. You have very, very specific gun laws, and you have very, very specific requirements to purchase a gun, and even stricter ones on concealed carry. Do you not?
I don't live in New York. Bird does.
No, I'm talking to Bird.
Oh, okay.
Our laws were ruled unconstitutional, so I don't know.
No.
They weren't.
Not. The only thing that they deemed unconstitutional in that ruling was you couldn't put justifying why you wanted to purchase the gun or why you wanted to
well,
have
our
it
rules,
carry.
yes, you're
That
right.
was
Our
the
rules
only-
required, you had to have a good reason before you could get a handgun.
And self-defense was not a justifiable reason. Now, that is all that was removed from the language of your rule. It did not change anything else. It just said you cannot ask that specific question. That was it. Sorry, I did follow that.
Okay. They're more into it than I was. So.
And I respect New York's desire to have stricter concealed carry law. That's fine. That's the state of New York. California has strict gun laws too. I choose to prefer to live in a state that has a little less of those kind of restrictions. I had a lifetime concealed carry permit before basically they said Indiana became a constitutional carry. I haven't really looked that up because I already have my concealed carry permits, so it wouldn't have mattered either way for me. But in the state of South Carolina, my concealed carry was only good for 5 years, and I had to renew it. When I got up here, it was getting close to that time. So I went ahead, and in my state, it's free if you want to just do it every 5 years. But if you want the lifetime one, you had to pay $70. So I paid $70, and for me and my wife to have a lifetime one, so I didn't have to reapply. And I like that about the state of Indiana. But I'm not going to tell New York how to run their gun laws, and I'm not going to tell California or any liberal state or city how to do that. That's not me. I'm not that kind of conservative.
Yeah, you don't live there. You don't live here. So what's it affect you? How does it affect you if one state's doing one thing, another state's doing another?
See what I'm saying? Exactly. What your state does is your choice. That's the beauty of a republic.
Well, what would you say about MB about something along the lines of, say, let's say Kansas wanted to outlaw all guns within their state, and this wasn't a constitutional issue for that, okay?
You are roboting, Mike. I didn't hear what you said. You roboted on me.
Did you say Kansas? I would say that would almost never pass, and probably no. I'm gonna answer it. If any state tried to do that, I have a feeling it would end up getting struck down by the Supreme Court.
All right, yeah, hold on. Am I still roboting?
No, I think you're good now.
Okay, let me actually finish my hypothetical here.
Yeah, sure thing.
Let's say a state like Kansas, and it wasn't a constitutional issue, decided to ban all firearms within their state. But every other state around them, because they were still legally able to purchase them there, people were bringing them into that state. Would you say that was still an issue?
If there was no clause in that law that says you cannot transport state,
Darn it, my alarm went off again. Say that again, Mike. Say that last part again. I'm sorry. I didn't hear it because my alarm went off for some stupid reason.
Basically, because if, say, a state like Kansas, and again, we're assuming that the Second Amendment doesn't apply here, bans all firearms, but every other state around them makes it completely legal for you to buy a firearm, and people keep bringing them into your state.
Then that would be if we're going to say the Constitution, if we're taking out the Constitution, then that would be illegal.
Yes,
that would not be a 10th Amendment issue because the state. That wouldn't be a 10th and Second Amendment issue because, like you said, they don't really. If the Second Amendment doesn't apply there, then the 10th Amendment would apply. See, that's where that is. That's where the hypothetical is. Now, the states around it, and if somebody goes into the other state and buys it and brings it back, it's illegal in that state. Yes, that would be illegal, and I would support that if they were not if the Constitution part wasn't in there.
Basically, if Kansas outlaws guns and people bring guns in there, a Kansas citizen is in violation of the law because they're in possession of a gun.
Now, here's the thing I do want to say. I've read the Second Amendment very well. Okay, so it says well-regulated militia. Well, militia is a civilian force, not subject to military. It's not National Guard. It's not the reserves or anything like that. Now, the right to keep and bear arms will not be infringed. See, that's the area where people try to do the hyperbole stuff. Okay, it's not saying, okay, here's my interpretation. My conservative interpretation of this. It is not saying, California doesn't say you can't have a gun. California has restrictions on the type. That is not necessarily falling on the infringement part because you're still allowed to purchase a gun in New York and in California, but maybe not certain ones. Look, certain weapons I have are illegal in California because I have banana clips. And somebody says, "Why?" Yeah, and
And
okay.
that's one of the
Well,
reasons. Well, that's one of the reasons a lot of my guns. When I
Can I
inherited a large amount of my guns, they are illegal in California. In fact, they are illegal to transport across state lines by federal law. Which is why one of the reasons before I left Texas, when I was leaving all my guns, I removed the firing pins from almost every single one of them, and the ones I couldn't were actually we welded certain things in place to make it so much harder to actually fire the weapons. Because what happens if someone breaks into my storage unit? Well, now they've got 20 some odd guns, including AR-15s, Uzis, and other things that I don't want to see on the streets and being able to be fired. Or at least not easily being able to fire.
Do you have all the make, model, and serial numbers documented?
Every single one of them.
Thank you. Okay,
and reported to the Texas government.
Yes, as soon as so I had a safe in South Carolina that got stolen. Had several things in it, including 2 of my Rugers. And the police officers, when we reported stolen, asked if we knew what the contents were in the safe. And I said yes, because I had a list of it. And I said I had 2 Ruger 22 long rifles in there. He goes, well, actually, I said I had 2 guns in there. And he said, or I said 2 pistols. And he said, do you remember their make, model? I said, I have their make, model, and serial numbers, and I've got them for you right now. And yes, this is something that people need to educate themselves on, because a lot of people don't think about that. They don't keep the make, model, and serial number. And actually, 6 damn years later, I got a call from South Carolina after I moved to Indiana that said, hey, we found one of your pistols. The FBI found it and transported it back down here. I said, what? And they said, what do you want us to do with it? Do you want to get it? And I was like, I live 12 hours away. I'm not going back down there for a pistol. And I gave them permission to destroy it.
Hypocrite much, Darren? Vinyl Mike moves his firing pin out of a gun, so that makes it a prop like a movie gun. But you still want to charge Alec Baldwin for firing a gun at somebody and killing somebody. Hypocrite much?
Yeah, Darren, again, the reason I did it was a safety issue. Because I'm not present around these guns. As I said, I live in California, and it is illegal to have a large portion of these guns brought into California or to transport them across state lines. And I don't want someone to break in. I don't want someone to break into this storage unit and steal these guns and then use them on people.
With all respect,
because I'm not around to make sure that they're in a safe area, or they're being used
running to buy guns.
What Mike did is, what Mike did is smart, because he doesn't have full access to them. So the ones he could remove the firing pin from, he did. So if somebody steals that gun, let's put a little damn common sense here. If somebody steals that gun, half of those motherfuckers aren't going to realize why the gun doesn't fire because you removed the firing pin. I know it, and you know it.
And yes, Cinnabon, yes, I did remove the bayonets from the guns that actually have bayonets, but they are still stored in the gun safe. Because, yes, some of the guns, including the M1 Garand, has a bayonet. But I don't store the gun with the friggin' bayonet attached. One, because it makes it longer and it's harder to fit in the gun safe.
Yeah, that's good. Look, I only keep one.
You don't want to accidentally cut yourself when you're trying to pull it out and show somebody.
Hey, I'll put it to y'all this way. There's only 2 pistols in this house that are loaded at all times. That's my 9mm and my wife's 9mm. And do you know what? My kids never touch them. They know exactly where they are, but they know not to touch them. They know it's not a game.
And as I said, I have one weapon that is loaded. Granted, Darren thinks that it's not really a gun because I load it with rock salt as opposed to actual buckshot or something like that, because it's a 20 gauge shotgun.
But my kids do not know where that gun is because they are not trained. They also don't want to be trained, which I would argue that they should be, even if they're not going to use a gun. You should still know how to treat them. But unfortunately, their moms are a little bit not like that.
Is he saying that just because a gun fires rock salt and not bullets, that's not a real gun? Wow, then you better tell all the southern people in the South that those guns that's filled with rock salt ain't gonna work in that bear because it's not a real gun.
That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit.
And if you include rock salt, I've been shot 3 times. But I don't usually count that as one of the ones I've been shot with because it was from well over 50 yards away, and well, it was rock salt.
Yeah, you tried to
see. My only reason why my only reason for not liking shotguns is they're very short range and they have a very high kickback, and I don't like pump action.
Dude, a shotgun is for a beginner when they want to do home invasion prevention. It's for a beginner. They basically, you have no aim. You have to worry about aim. All you can do is point and shoot.
Well, that's why you have solid slug and buckshot, and then you have, like the rock salt. If you want to use it as a deterrent, you use the rock salt. If you want to, hit a wider area, you go with the buckshot, but it's weaker. And it's weaker when it's going, if it goes through anything. The solid slug is the one that's really going to put you down if it's at close range. But that's the key thing. Shotguns are really more of a close range thing. And yes, in a house, listen, I'd rather use my pistol in my house than my rifle. I really would.
Oh, yeah,
look, I don't like shotguns. It's just not my preference. But I understand why people have them. It's a close range weapon, whereas rifles are more more medium range, and then you have your sniper rifles and stuff that are long range.
Of course, if you got a handgun and shooting at someone breaking into your house and you miss, yeah, that person's gonna be scared. Oh shit, he's shooting at me! Time to get the fuck out.
Exactly. But some people are nervous with pistols, and a shotgun is actually considered for some a more comfortable alternative.
Okay, if we don't stop talking about guns, I'm going to blow my brains out.
I got guns in my head and they won't go.
Right.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Guns in my head and they won't go.
This ain't your stream.
In my head and they won't go.
It's not but it's YouTube stream.
No, it's my stream.
Yeah, it's my stream.
Under the permission of YouTube.
Absolutely.
You'll never win that argument with me and B.
Granted by me by YouTube, I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to until I breach the terms of service, which is a civilian contract. I brought it back.
Well, LDG can hack the stream. I've seen the hack StreamYard streams before.
And to be honest, I've actually hunted I've also hunted with using a shotgun loaded with rock salt, especially when we're hunting something small like rabbits or squirrels, because buckshot nearby will completely destroy the meat.
Squirrel.
At least with rock salt, you have less, especially with a half powder round. Will kill, but won't destroy the meat.
So yeah, that squirrel.
Question. Vile Mike, you hunt, right?
Yes.
You say you hunt? Okay. Let me ask you just a imaginary, what if, I can't think of the word that means not real, a hypothetical situation. There we go.
Fake.
If you had a button, right, that you could just point at an animal and hit the button and the animal would just die. Just the brain just ceases like immediately as soon as you hit the button, right? Would you still use a bullet?
Jesus Christ, LDG, do me a favor and
Well,
stick
let's
to.
see.
Can I get the answer before people start tearing me up?
Well,
Get the
here's
answer
thing,
first.
LDG.
It's a yes or no.
If I'm hunting for, hold on. If I'm hunting for food, absolutely, I'd say that's a good idea because when you're hunting for food, you're just trying to feed your family.
I thought hunting for food is the only hunting allowed. Like you're not allowed to kill for fun.
Hunting is a hit or miss, dude. Every time you go
Yeah,
hunting, you're not guaranteed a
and
kill.
LDG, no, because there are people in this country that hunt for sport. They will hunt an animal
you hunt for
just to mount
sport.
its head or something like that.
Okay, to mount its head. Okay, so the body's still being used. You're just
Not
not going
always.
and just killing shit.
No,
Okay.
sometimes
Actually, Florida has a hunt for pythons. It's just to kill them. They don't belong.
Hey,
Well, that's
look,
because, hold on, Bird. That's because
Well,
those are an
that's
invasive
different.
species. That's a little
Those
bit
are
different.
invasive species. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
it
little
doesn't
different.
matter. It doesn't change the fact that the point is to just kill them. It's
You
not.
must-
Well,
Sure,
exactly.
rabbit.
If you had a
Head
button
on.
that just do it. So yeah, I mean, in that case, that would turn your little "I just want to kill for fun" into a pretty ugly thing.
Now, one of the things is this.
How the hell
who
they
go-
they need to speak
It's
perfect
very
English and
even
pray?
if okay. I have yet to meet a person. We had one of my chief master sergeants who had like 6 bucks on his in his office, and I asked him. I said, "So what'd you do with the rest of it?" And he's like, "Well, I took it to the butcher shop, had it skinned, did all this." So it's very rare that anybody hunts for sport. It's not like the old days where they used to shoot the goddamn buffalo and just take the coat and leave the meat and waste it. That is not normal in hunting anymore. It hasn't been for a long time, and people need to get that out of their damn heads. Are there some idiots who do that? I guess so, but you know, it's a rarity. It is not normal now. It's just
Hold on.
not.
Look, I'm sorry to interrupt you, NB. Someone wants to come in called Teen Sensa. I don't know who that is. If you can say in the private chat who you are, I can drop somebody else out and bring you up, but I have no idea who you are, so I'm not going to just bring you up.
Well, I was going to get going anyway. I got to get ready for some stuff.
Let's go. I need to
I'll
know
be
who it is
listening.
before I actually let them in.
That's fine.
It's
but I'm gonna go either
Darren.
way.
It's Darren.
Okay, talk to you guys later.
Later, bird.
Blah, bird.
Blah. Get mama.
If it's a picture of an early Backstreet Boy, yeah, that's Darren.
Well, it didn't say the full name. It literally just said Teen Sensa. And I was like,
That's Darren.
Is that-
That's Darren.
Is that-
Darren
That's Darren.
Wagner.
Teen sensation. He's
yeah.
a pretty boy. Yeah.
It didn't
There
say
he is.
Darren, it didn't give me the full name when it was bringing it up.
Well,
And I'm
stop
just like,
using your phone.
Sensa, is
If
that
you
the-
click the 3 dots, oh, that's right. You're on the phone, aren't you?
Yeah.
You need to stop using your phone.
Yeah.
Well,
What happened to
unfortunately,
your
I need
computer
a new
you got?
computer. I got to go buy a new computer.
You said you got one. What happened?
I
Didn't you
talked
have a
about this
stream saying
earlier.
you got a?
LDG, it was stolen, remember?
Oh, someone stole it. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That happened.
Oh shit!
We literally talked about it earlier in the stream.
I
You
didn't know
were
you were
on
talking
the
about
stream
that.
when we talked about it.
I heard you. I didn't hear the beginning part where you said it was your laptop, your recent one. I thought you meant it was like an older, like a past laptop
No, it
that got
was a brand
stolen.
new one.
Not this one. Okay. Sorry. I'm on board.
And
LDG,
Bird, if you're still in the
you
chat,
sound
go
like
ahead and post
shit,
the
by
link
the
to
way.
your live stream.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining, boss.
Let's see here. Nope. No, it should be okay.
Yeah, you're all staticky.
I'm staticky or LDG staticky?
LDG is staticky.
How about now? Any better?
I still hear a little static in the background. It's not a fan.
That's not me. Is it stopping?
Roboted just there.
Yeah, you started a robot too.
Anybody watch that Predator prequel, Prey?
I did.
I did.
I started to watch it, but I didn't get to finish it because other things happened. But I want to go back and watch the whole thing. I tried to watch it with the Vile Child because we recently watched the original Predator movie, but she is not interested in watching any other Predator movie, apparently.
How the hell did the natives learn how to speak perfect English?
Better.
Well, that was
Testing.
sto-
1, 2,
that-
3.
that's a storytelling convention, just like in the
Yeah.
Hunt for October, when everybody's speaking Russian and then they zoom in on their voice or on their lips, and then everybody's speaking English with an English accent or a Scottish accent, or whatever accent the actor happens to have. That's a storytelling shorthand. That's all that was.
Convenience.
Yeah, that I don't have a problem with.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
thought-
They actually recorded they have a dubbed version in Comanche that they're showing in other places.
And I fully intend to watch that after I watch the English version.
Yeah, the only issue I really had with it, because I actually thought it was good. The trailer was a total fucking lie, I thought. She's not a Mary Sue. She actually failed. There is a reason why, the whole thing she says, why do you want to hunt? Because you think I can't. But she has weaknesses, and she is learning to cope with those weaknesses in her own way. And this is something we used to do in the Air Force. Our feedbacks had, what are your strengths? And then there was the key part. What are your weaknesses? Because if you don't acknowledge your weaknesses, you can't really grow from them. You just keep them the same way. And I thought overall it was actually, between all the Predator movies, I love, obviously, it doesn't top the original because nothing's going to do that. But I kind of put it on about par with Predator 2.
Yeah, same here.
Definitely better than any of the others. Definitely better than any of the other Predator movies and the Alien versus Predator movies we got.
Yeah, I've only seen the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, Naru is not a clean and pure as Wind Driven Snow either. It's very clear that she's doing what she's doing in the show out of pride. The gender role, particularly of a small community like the Comanche, are there for a reason. I mean, then they've already invested in her all this other training for medicinal stuff and cooking and all that kind of stuff and gathering skills and things of that nature. So, you understood the Braves' point of view, particularly when they go on the lion hunt and they have to carry her back. She makes more work for them, and I thought that was pretty well represented. But no, as far as being a monster movie in an environment that we're not used to seeing monster movies take place in, that's what intrigued me the most. Some people are calling it woke. I don't use the word woke because woke seems to mean different things to different people. But look, when you have a female protagonist in a period piece, you're going to have certain tropes, based off of how almost every society we've had throughout history has signed gender roles. Sure, would the movie have been better if it had been about her brother, just coming of age and defending his tribe against the predator? It might have been, but that's not the movie we got. But the movie we got was interesting, and I thought that Amber Midthunder was endearing. I actually did like her despite all of her flaws, and that's hard to do. So.
Darren, people would complain if there was a Roman period piece movie with a female general. People would complain. Why? Because that actually happened in Roman history. There were female generals, but people still say it's a female role.
But what I like about the movie was that they didn't. Okay, so when you have examples of women throughout history who have gone outside their gender roles, there was always two things they had. First of all, they were exceptional at what they did, right? They demonstrated they were able to do the job, and they also had an advocate, typically a male advocate, that gave them the opportunity. And her brother,
not Roman, sorry.
and her brother was that advocate. And yes, she did. There was, depending on who you talk to, wasn't suited for the lion hunt. But I'm totally buying how she because spoiler alert here, she does come out victorious against the predator. I totally bought it because it set up everything with Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun is a literary concept, by the way, not an actual gun in the movie.
Yeah.
They you set it up and you use it, and that's I was pleased with it, and I liked the new take. It's not a new Predator design per se, but it is different from other ones we've seen, but still very much recognizable as a Predator and had all the same ticks, and so I was fine with that.
Darren, the director said that this version of the Predator This is his very first time, very first hunt. It's his very first time on the planet. That's why he has the technology that he has and the equipment that he has.
And
Whatever.
I also I
that's
would say
that's not
when I
apparent in the show. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
when I turned off I had to stop the movie was right after the predator killed the wolf, and I kind of got the impression that yes, like who just said, it was a younger predator because he he takes the skull as a trophy, just like we've seen predators do.
He
But
also. Oh, sorry, Mike.
sorry, I had to cough because about 5 minutes ago I accidentally inhaled through the wrong pipe when it came to my cigar.
One of the things as you noticed is this predator gets, he doesn't have he has the camouflage, the cloaking kind of thing, but he doesn't have that shielding like the Predator and Predator 2 had and stuff. So this predator is not as subtle as the other ones we've seen in Predator 1 and 2, and that's all I compare it to because I can't stand the other ones. It's more direct. It's more kind of a. Would you say, Darren, it was kind of more almost brawler type?
Yeah, I would say that it kind of has to be though if you're going to have it set in that time period. The scene with the bear, for example, there was a lot of interesting things about that scene to me. One is that it chose to grapple physically with the bear.
Yes.
But what was weird was it still had its camouflage on throughout most of the fight. It was a neat effect. I mean, when he's holding the bear and all the blood and gore are pouring out from the bear's belly onto it, so he can be seen. That was neat, but it's a slightly different. It's not exactly what we're used to. I mean, you compare that to the one that Dutch and his Marines, or whatever they were, fought in the first Predator movie, where he had that shoulder-mounted energy cannon thing, and how that one hunted versus this one. I got the impression that this one was really going through a learning experience. They show the ant being eaten by the rodent, and then the snake eating the rodent, and then the snake sensing the predator and it killing it, and then watching the rabbit run and then seeing the coyote attack it, and then the coyote chooses to fight the predator, and he was obviously impressed enough by that to want to keep that skull.
Yeah, Darren, one of the things I think that I read about this was actually not just this predator's first time on Earth. This was the first time the predators had actually ever gone to Earth. And one of its key things was it was trying to find who is the most worthy prey.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the expanded lore, they were here in ancient Egypt too. But I mean, that's we don't know if this movie goes by the established lore of the expanded lore of the comics and things. But yeah, I as far as just the limited lore of the movies, yeah, I can buy that.
So they don't really know about the humans, the hunters, and the Comanche. One of the things in here is I said this in my review is when she takes out certain people. And it was like, somebody's going to complain that it's because it's a bunch of white men. I said, no, it's because they're at best trappers and maybe somewhat hunters, but they are not warriors. They are not trained.
No, they're not. And they were obviously spooked by the predator. And I got the impression these were the guys that normally got left behind at camp anyway. They also relied heavily on their mechanized muskets, which didn't have the best firing rate as they demonstrate in the film. So, here she is training with her. Is it a tomahawk or just her axe? Her fighting.
I assumed it was a tomahawk. It could have been.
I don't want to call it the right thing because then I got tribes calling me and stuff going, you idiot. But anyway.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off because I'm getting hungry. I need to cook something.
I don't care for this night. I don't care for characters like Michael Burnham and Mary Sue types, but we have to be able to tolerate female characters whooping a little ass like that, particularly when their opponents are opponents like that. I mean, there's been women. I mean, if you have a problem with that scene, then how did you enjoy Terminator 2 when Linda Hamilton's character takes on several orderlies in her attempt to break out of Pescadero Mental Institution?
It's called training.
And everything she did was taking advantage of she fought the way a woman should fight against guys like that. It's not like Ruby Rose, skinny little Pee Wee Herman girl, grabbing a 280-pound guy and throwing him across the room like she's superhuman or something when she's clearly not supposed to be. No, and granted, I mean, she's good with that hatchet, and women can cut you. Women can fuck you up. You get a knife in your hands
from a woman. Trust me, I know women can. I know women. But also, let's remember, one of the things she had to do was overcome. She could throw that hatchet, no problem. Right. But once she added the rope, it became a much more effective weapon for her. That's why I said she used her weakness. The weakness of the hunting, and the way she defeats the predator is she uses her knowledge and the experience she's had and takes into effect it did not consider her a threat at times to her advantage. She was paying attention, and she was the only one who had that much contact around it and still survived. So I bought I think I was with Orange Hat on that. I said, if you want to go by the modern term of woke, maybe 5% at best.
Yeah. The problem is that, go ahead.
Well, I just want to go back a little bit because I had the comment up. Yvette said that Predator 2 was shite. Anyone else want to disagree with that? Because I think Predator 2 is the best Predator movie.
I won't say it's the best, but I will point out Bill Paxton was in it.
Yeah.
Let's remember what Bill Paxton has been in 3 movies of.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. But no, I did enjoy Predator 2, but one of the things I like about the Predator in general is they don't come out and tell you things. That you have to you have to observe what the Predator does, and you figure them out. Like in the second one, when he's got Maria Conchito Alonso, she's, and he's got her by the neck, and she's been shooting at him in the subway, but then he loses his heat vision and looks at her belly and sees that there's a fetus in there, and he lets her go. And you understand as a hunter why he did that. They don't come out and tell you why he they show you, and it's stuff like that I've always liked about the Predator. They don't. And you've got some exposition where the characters are observing his behavior and kind of figuring them out. Amber Midthunder does something very similar.
I would point out you're absolutely right about that, Darren. Especially like in the ice cooler scene when it came to them hunting the Predator in the meat factory.
Yeah.
Danny Glover's character realizes by how the Predator is moving that he actually can see you guys, and he's trying. He's telling them. But they showed it first before they did the exposition.
Right.
Yeah, he says he sees the lights. One of the things with that Predator was it had multiple spectrums it could see from. And that was the only time we really ever saw a Predator have that, that capability. This, this Predator had different weapons, and its setup was different, and like I said, she had to use her intelligence and learn from her failures and her observation to do this. It was very similar to like what Danny Glover and Arnold Schwarzenegger had to do. The only advantage, one of the big advantages she had that Dutch didn't have, and I said this because where Dutch was, they didn't know the lay of the land. These people know that land. And kind of similar to Danny Glover, but that was an urban environment.
Right.
It was an environment he's familiar with, but not necessarily an expert of, because not everyone is an expert about every building in their city.
Right.
No.
I Yeah, I have a question about the film, but it's going to require a spoiler to be mentioned. But I don't know if you want to do that on stream or if with Vile having to
You
having
can
that
do it
scene with
later.
me.
As I said, I haven't finished watching the movie yet, and I don't want to have everything spoiled.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, we're trying very hard not to spoil it, but it was. What I'm saying is how she goes about it was very. She had a heroine's journey, and it's been a long time since we've really seen a female protagonist. Listen, I want strong women. I want women to have a heroine's journey. I want a Red Sonja. I want a Buffy. I want a Sarah Connor. I want a Ripley. I want to see that stuff.
Same here. I mean, some of my favorite comic books that I've read had female protagonists in them, and they were well written. They were all written by men, but they were all well done, and a lot of and they weren't Mary Sue's, because those were professional writers who understood what a Mary Sue actually is and how to avoid it in a professional piece of work. I even like the dog, But I'll also mention this. I've heard some people talk about, of course, the only white people that show up are these evil. I'm like, dude, at that era, the only people that the Comanche are going to run into are the French voyagers, the for-profit fur trappers and hunters. I mean, you have three different types of hunter depicted in the movie. You got the Comanche, who represent the ones who hunt to survive. You've got the French, who are there for profit, and then you've got the predator, who's there for sport. A perfect.
And if Darren, like your history, you had the Spanish, who were mostly in the South. You had the English, who were in the East, and then you had in that area that was mostly the French.
Right, the French around here too. I mean, every other town in Wisconsin's an Indian name, either a Ho-Chunk or a Potawatomi or a Menominee Indian name, and so that's another reason why I was particularly interested in this, because I do like movies that feature that culture. Not all of them. Some of them have sucked over the years, but but this one to me felt respectful. They didn't dwell on Naru's selfishness as much. It was portrayed as an admirable trait, but it was counterproductive to the survival of their tribe. But then again, also she saw things that they didn't. She saw this menace out in the woods, So I mean, it's the usual trope where she's wrong, but circumstantially she's correct. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things I thought that like her mom said in the early part, you're good with medicine. Why do you want to? Because you all think I can't. And why is that so important? Well, duh.
Yeah.
They're hunters. They're nomads in a sense. So that's kind of the big that. Let's be honest. That's kind of the top of the tent pole there.
Right.
And she wanted to. She wanted. It's not like she was trying to just show everyone how great she was. She was actually, I thought, trying to prove herself that she could do it.
And while I keep calling her selfish, and that's not necessarily a bad thing in this. She's definitely self-absorbed, self-interested, but
yes.
in like I said, circumstantially, that's fine. That the movie's plot and circumstances make that irrelevant towards the end there. Because obviously, by the end of the film, their tribe looks very different. Let's just say that, and they're going to need her. And especially if the mid-credits sequence plays out in any kind of a sequel, the story's not done yet. So,
shit, I didn't even know there was a mid.
Okay, well, it's not in a conventional sense. When you look at the closing credits, they show like Native American paintings just depicting everything that happened in the movie to her. But at the very end, something happens that didn't happen in the movie, and that's their mid-credit teaser.
I'll check it out. On Hulu.
I'm not going to say what it is, but obviously,
please don't.
I won't. But yeah, you got it. And it was very
Well, at least
clever
I
of them
now
to
know to
hide
look
it that
for it.
way. Yeah, yeah. So and then there's of course the pistol, that everybody talks about. And Critical Drinker thought the pistol was stupid. I don't have a problem with the pistol.
I didn't either.
And I think Critical Drinker, he did a condescending video about the trailer, assuming it was going to be all Mary Sue, SJW, bullshit. And now he's in a problem because the movie is nowhere near as he described it, but he can't really reverse himself. He's saying, oh, it was all mediocre. It was, and everything was tropey. Yeah, it's tropey, but some of those tropes exist for a reason. We like those stories sometimes. And
I also don't think a lot of people realize how many tropes there actually are, because you can go to almost any mainstream movie and look up the TV tropes about it, and you will see dozens, if not hundreds, and even some thousands of tropes that were used in this movie.
Right. Oh yeah.
One of the things, one of the things Orange Hat Review said in his when he was doing a review on Prey, he admitted, and I was in the same boat with him. I thought this was going to be woke bullshit, and he and I both agreed. We were like, he said, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was wrong too. And I'm actually glad to be, trust me, I am glad to be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had every reason to believe it was going to be exactly the way that Critical Drinker said it was, especially after the last film and how it didn't take itself seriously. One of the things I love about Prey is it takes itself 100% seriously. It's, it's not like.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to say something stupid real quick. Which one was the last one? Because I don't remember.
The one Shane Black did with the autism and the Predator suit.
Oh God, that
he was trying to get a hold of. Yeah.
When the little kid one, right? Where's the helmet?
Right.
Okay. I only saw that one once. I can't really speak much about it because I wasn't that into it. I thought the one with Adrian Brody and that one was fairly well done, but not necessarily on par with the first two.
Right.
But I didn't know if that one came out first, or because I wasn't paying attention that much, and I watched them much later after they left the theaters. I didn't know which one actually came first.
Yeah, it was Predator, Predator 2, AVP, AVP 2, Predators, The Predator, and then you have Prey.
Right.
Which Prey, out of all of them, Prey is right on par. It's of all those, and I don't like anything. I didn't like anything past Predator 2. I put AVP was okay, but mostly I say that because I'm kind of a Lance Hendrickson fan. Hey, I am. What can I say? He's one actor I really enjoy, even though he's a character actor most of the time. But I still enjoy his character.
Is he in the Predator movie?
I enjoy his acting. Also,
sorry,
I love
say that again, Darren.
Was he in the Lance Henriksen was in a Predator movie? I can't remember.
Yeah, Aliens versus Predator 1.
Oh, okay. See, I never saw the AVP films because I'd read the Dark Horse comics and I thought they did them brilliantly, and I didn't really want to see it. But I mean, I heard bad things about it. But I mean, I stick to just the sole Predator films. Yeah, it's I'll have to catch up on those eventually.
No, I don't know. I think Aliens and Predators together, yeah, it sounded like a great concept, but the execution has not been good either time.
Yeah, the Dark Horse comics were very
film.
Yeah,
I would say in film they weren't very good. In some of the comics, and certainly the video games, at least some of the earlier video games, were excellent.
Yeah, the first one, Dark Horse,
beat 'em up AVP game where you had the two humans and two predators. That one was a fantastic game. It had a good storyline for the most part, including corrupt bureaucrat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I enjoyed the game very much so. The port sucked, but the actual arcade game was great.
Oh, you are talking about the arcade game. Yeah, I remember playing that. I beat the game. I remember back in the day. Dark Horse did some very good. One of my personal favorite Batman stories is Batman versus Predator, the first one.
Yeah,
I very much enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
I have not had a chance to watch. I have not had a chance to read the Dark Horse Predator stuff.
They had the license first in the 80s. They had the license for both Aliens and Predator, and of course they got permission from 20th Century Fox to do the first. And the first series was really good. It was a ranch planet, just a planet full of these ranches where they were raising these beef cattle like creatures, and they get stuck between essentially a war between the xenomorphs and the predators, and they actually have in the expanded continuity a proper name. They're called the Yautja or Yautja. That's what they're called. I prefer to call them predators because it sounds better and it's hard to say that name. But and it was just about the humans trying to survive a double whammy. you have the the xenomorphs and these other aliens that are the other aliens. The predators are more interested in killing the xenomorphs than they are killing the humans, and eventually a Sigourney Weaver like character woman befriends the senior predator, and they communicate through very basic, not even really sign language, but just by pointing at things and stuff like that, and then they end up killing the alien queen. It was a good story, and I thought that they should have made that no movie, but I guess they didn't with the AVP stuff. So good on them.
Well, as much as I'm enjoying the conversation, it's almost 2.5 hours, and I only got 2 watchers now, which means I got more people on the panel than I have watching.
Right.
So I think it's time to go ahead and head out, and I'll see you guys next week.
Take care.
See ya.
Later, folks.
Yeah.